So in Japan, there was this car called the Altezza. If you're outside of Japan, you might have known this as the Lexus IS series of cars. Altezza supposedly is Italian for height or highness, and that's the origin of this name, I guess. And I think RS200 is referring to the 2-liter engine in this model, this car in real life, that is. But there was a 3-liter inline 6 available in some of the other models, perhaps the IS300 maybe, and that was making like 220 horsepower. This is a rear-wheel drive front engine, although there was a station wagon version or a van version that could have all-wheel drive. I don't think I've ever seen a photo of it though, so I'm not really sure what that looks like, but it looks pretty cool. I like station wagons. It was a compact class of vehicle in Japan, and it was meant to take on like the BMW 3 Series or the Mercedes C class, and it still exists, I believe, today in its 3rd generation. This is the 1st generation we're looking at here. And so if you're unaware, there's a brand called Inno64. I rather like this brand of models because they have a lot of good value. On the back we do have a little outline of it, and then in this case it's a Z edition blue, and it's just Japan special edition. I don't know what that really means, how many of them were made, no idea. And Gulliver 64, I'm familiar with that because they make airplanes called Gulliver 200, so I wonder, but that's the parent company. Okay, but this being a normal road paint scheme, Inno really likes to pack on the value and gives you a second wheel set. I love this because a lot of other brands have less than stellar wheels, and so I saved these to put on those other models. So I'm really looking forward to those. Maybe well, there you go. I'm not going to swap them on this model here. Sorry, I'm trying to see if the printing is legible. Can't say. Sorry, maybe it'll come out on YouTube. Let's see, there's a little backing card, some sort of Japanese street scene, and a carbon fiber water slide decal, which I am too lazy to put on. I think the blue paint on this looks too nice to be covering up with a decal. So it does have this, case. It's a little loose, so I wouldn't recommend lifting it by the cover. I would recommend lifting it by the bottom. There's one screw holding it on. Let me just make sure there's no sensitive parts for here. I don't see any tow hooks or anything, so I'll try to take it off the base here. So you can see the tire is stuck to this base. Some sort of chemical reaction. Just roll it back and forth. So that's not good. Ooh, I wonder if that's going to come off later. Feels a little soft. I feel like maybe some rubbing alcohol might get that off, but I'll have to try later. I don't know. I don't know if the plastic deteriorated or if the rubber deteriorated. It does have a little metal etching here, Japan Special Edition, but again, I don't know what that really means. Alright, well, let's see here. Let's take a look at this photograph. Let's zoom in on the model. The photo is big enough, I think you can see. There's no fog lamps, but the openings do look correct. The wheels also look correct. Mirrors, not so far off, so it looks pretty good. The badge is in a different location, but I'm not sure if that's a customized car or not. Alright, whereas this one looks, well, this looks like it's in a car dealership, but it says auto budget, so it's probably a used car dealership. But even so, it looks pretty similar to me. Alright. Okay, so let's see what else I learned about this thing. The engineering work for this car was led by Nobuaki Katayama. And I have to mention this guy because he's the person responsible for the AE86 project, better known as the Toyota Corolla Terreno and Levin from Initial D fame and drifting car fame. So without him, he wouldn't have made this. Alright, so we're looking at this model now. It's a pretty nice metallic blue. Really nice, actually. I rather like it. Not super flaky, but definitely metallic. The wheels here, yeah, they looked like those photographs to me. They don't want to really roll because I think there's friction going on either with the casting up there or possibly in the brake system. You know, the brake caliper is not spinning, only the wheel does. The back seems a little bit better. Yeah, so no rolling there. But I'd rather have a realistic model than something that rolls. Something that looks more realistic. Okay, I'm just looking. No, I was thinking there might be something printed there, but I don't see it. It's just blank here, but you can see the recesses for the lug nuts. It's interesting. The front wheel seems to be a different casting than the rear wheel. Let's see about this side. Oh. Well, this is really weird. These wheels don't match at all. So maybe there's black paint here for the lug nuts, because here there's no black paint and it looks like the lug nuts are actually sticking up. So this one also seems to have a sinkhole in the middle of it. It's almost like I have 4 different wheels on this vehicle. So that's a bit unusual. It's not expected from Inno, but I guess it's not good, right? This one has a sinkhole, and these two have black lug nut holes, or protrusions. Lug nut, they're all protruded, and then it's painted black to be the lug nuts. This one they skipped the paint, but there's no recess. You know, this one has the paint. So, okay, well, I guess I could always just add a little bit of paint marker or a Sharpie to those lug nuts and try to make it match a little bit better. Alright, well, there's a little silver rectangle here for this marker. The door handles are sticking out a little bit. This little rubber molding, I think, or body color molding is sticking out. And then the fuel filler door here looks pretty nice. Yeah, the panel gaps are pretty thin. Better than Hot Wheels for sure. Black paint on the molded windows here, so that looks alright. The mirrors themselves have a reflective sticker, so that's great. Here we have those little lights, inside lights, and this car, at least on Wikipedia, is getting credit for introducing this whole style of taillights where they'll have a sealed red light and then it's covered by a clear light for the entire housing, because it's kind of like lights inside of lights. And I guess, I mean, maybe that's true. I don't know if there's an older car that has a sealed light and then it's still covered with a clear lens on top of it. So I guess some people call them Altezza lights. That style, Altezza style. Ooh, what is this? I think that's like a hair or a piece of lint in the clear coat. I thought it was a crack, but it can't be a crack, right? It's not on this side, so this is a contaminant. And then the Altezza here seems to be a foil sticker. It's super shiny. Yeah, it's gotta be a foil sticker. It's great to see printing on the license plate. And then this little light here is also, or maybe it's a reflector, but it seems to be a separate piece of plastic. So yeah, they have red painted on this clear lens, and then behind it they have some silver paint and molded details. So I guess it works. Not as bright as the photograph, but it's close, I guess. The exhaust tip looks pretty good. You know, there's a little black paint inside the recess. And then the wing is nice. It's not super thick plastic. It looks relatively thin, actually. This one does have defroster lines. I'm not really a fan of the defroster lines, but yeah, and the windows are so distorted being molded, but you can see the outline of a rear view mirror there up front. And then this little antenna, oh, it is rubbery. I mean, I wouldn't want to be dropping this model too often, but it stands a chance of actually surviving a fall. Wiper blades, they're part of the molding here, and they're painted black, as well as this ribbing here. Some dots protruding, I think. Yeah, I can feel the bump there. And then again, that paint is nice, except for the contaminants. Yeah, I'm noticing another contaminant right here. A little lint or something. It's not nice. It's too bad. Okay, so 2 contaminants now. I think the front headlights look better than the tail lights. Clear lens, some molded details behind them, and then some orange there. I would guess that orange might be on the back side of this clear piece. It's hard to say. And then That sounds like it's metal, but anyways, it's painted black, looks nice, and this must be a foil sticker again, just because it's so shiny. It's not silver paint, it's much too shiny. Oh, this is interesting. There's an Altezza graphic printed on this, and that is on top of a gray paint. And then down here we have black paint for these little vents. Okay, and then another license plate with something on it, so that's good. Alright, what about the bottom here? It's got some treads on the tires, seems alright. It's screwed together, which is great, so you can fix problems or customize. And then a little silver paint for the exhaust. So, not bad. Altezza, who made it, what scale. Just doesn't say what year the copyright was. We don't know how old this model is. Okay, let's get into the interior. Oh boy, that thing's loose. Yeah, that screw's not as tight as it should be. Alright, well, I can already see there's some silver in the dashboard, so that's pretty cool. Let's see if I can focus in on that steering wheel. Seems like the seats have some gray in the middle, so it's a two-tone seat. I can't get over to that instrument cluster, I have to flip the model around, but it's nice to see the seats have extra color. Let's try from this side here. Yeah, that is a big tachometer or something right in there. So that's cool. Nice detail there, the instrument binnacle. Alright, what about the... I don't know if the doors have anything like silver on them, or if they're two-tone. It's hard to tell. Sorry, I'm trying to hold this flashlight in the model. Nah, I think it's just black. But still, it's nice to see two-tone seats. The little silver in the dash, so that's pretty good detail, I think. Better than usual. Alright, so it's a great model. Just 2 contaminants doesn't make it a perfect model. It's a real shame because it's such a nice blue. Alright, well, that's just my luck. I'm a very unlucky collector. A lot of my models tend to always have problems, so it's unfortunate for me. Hopefully you will have better luck if you decide to get this thing. Alright, let's pull out the earthquake spinning thing. Yeah, see, it's on the edges, it seems to vibrate a lot. I don't really have anything, any of the German cars of this era, so I'm just going to pull out some Japanese cars here. Here's a Toyota Corolla from BM Creations, and it's got the steering function. Then we have another BM Creations. This time it's a Mitsubishi Evo 7. Another nice metallic paint on that one. See this thing's vibrating? Unfortunately, I've taken it apart and there's nothing I can do to smooth it out. It's just a cheap spinning display. This next one is, and the last one is from Aoshima. It's one of those Grachon collection cars. It's a Toyota Mark II GX71 chassis code. I don't really know what year that would mean, but it's a 4-door, so I thought I'd bust it out here. And it's quite customized. Yeah, so here's a top view. So this is a different era, I think. It's a different decade. I think these might be all from the late 90s, early 2000s. Correct me if I'm wrong. They look like they could all be in the same class of car, the compact class. Alright. Well, let's get the solar coaster and let this guy spin on its own. Well, yeah, I wish it was a better paint finish. It seems to be not so hot on this one. But I do love the fact that it has a second set of wheels here, and I'm currently opening them up so I can try to get a better shot at one of these wheels and see what that printing says. So bear with me as this thing spins around. Alright. I can't really... maybe it's this way. I can't make that out, guys. What do you think that is? SSR? not Rage. It's not Volk Racing, I don't think. SSP? Well, anyways, it's nice to see some sort of attempt to have some extra detail on this wheel. In fact, these wheels are definitely better than the stock ones. I mean, it's got a silver rim, it's got a white spokes, and then it's got the black center cap, the lug nut details, and then the blue printed on top of it. So a lot more effort going on in this second wheel set. Let me back out here. I'm wondering if the tires are even different. I feel like the tires are the same. I feel like these tires were put on improperly. You can see the tread blocks, this Z pattern tread block here, it's also the same here. So one of these tires is supposed to be flipped around. I think this one, because on this one it's on the outside, the Z, along with here. It's a minor nitpick. It really doesn't even bother me, to be honest with you. But it's simple enough to flip a tire around, so it's no biggie. Okay guys, well, another Inno. I still like the brand. I'm still going to collect more Inno. I still think it's one of the greatest values in the 1/64 scale as far as details go. So if you guys are unfamiliar, I highly recommend you pick one up. They are quite nice. Alright, and hopefully I'll have some more coming in soon. Alright, take care.